had economics and politics and
natural resources,
natural
resources. And one of the cool things
and it was simple when you think about it. For all the things it encompassed,
it was easy to teach. Not necessarily easy to win, but easy to teach.
The rules are simple. The strategy was complex.
Yeah.
And
we had like almost every expansion. They had a lot of expansions. Like in the base game, the resource deck, if you wanted to go looking for resources, which is basically what you needed to buy things, you would go, okay, I'm gonna, what did they call it?
Exploration.
Exploration. And the game would kind of stop, and you pick up the resource deck, and somebody'd shuffle it, and you'd flip a card over, and if it was...
You had to own the territory.
If you owned the territory, then you now knew that it did that many oils per turn, or that much.
Didn't you get to keep flipping cards?
Well, each card costed $200 million.
Yeah, it cost you money.
So, but it was up to you if you want to keep going or not. And that was a really cool thing. In the basic set, the resources were basically what they are in the real world.
Yeah, so all the oil was in the Middle East.
Yeah, But they came out with a expansion set that was just another deck it was not real world locations.
And it's funny, the wars still just went wherever the oil was.
Well, yeah. And we bought it thinking, well, at least it's another, where we won't know where the resources were. But these guys were great game designers because you could play one deck or the other deck, or you could shuffle them all together, cut them in half, take half out of the game. Mm-hmm. You don't know which half is not out there. So you could play it in such a way that every time you sat down, you don't know what's in this game.
Well, and the other thing of that is some like in the two decks, resources were, I don't want to say plentiful, but they were all there. Mm-hmm. When you did the shuffle and split, there may not be much oil in the world.
Yeah, you could be on a planet that has very little grain. You know? So it made every game really new because the resource deck was totally unpredictable.
Somebody had a class, and maybe it was you, Dave, I don't remember. Somebody took a class where they did a session on world politics, and they played Supremacy.
I had a class called 20th Century World Wars, and mm-hmm. War Game is part of the class, but we didn't play Supremacy.
Didn't you play, there are a number of war games throughout the semester?
Yeah, well, it was the interim, so it was that, 3-week
the special
session.
Semester.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to prove that the Germans should have conquered Russia, and mm-hmm. I did. Although my opponent wasn't really very skilled, so it's probably not fair.
Yeah.
But
yeah. One of the times I was home for Christmas, the Everett bunch, all the guys from Everett who were gamers, had a copy of Axis and Allies, which is...
We also played that a lot.
Yeah, which is the simulation of World War II on a global scale.
I have that one too still, the same set.
Yeah, me too.
And a couple of the guys in my little group of people who role-played were history buffs, so I was not. So, but when I am setting up my pieces, and I noticed that there's a whole space on the board for this tiny little island called Midway, I could say dumb things like, why would they give that its whole own space for that tiny little island? It doesn't even produce resources. And then boom, I get to watch them all tell me historically how important Midway was to World War II. So I learned a ton of shit about World War II playing Axis and Allies with those guys. But anyway, I learned I was home for Christmas one time, and we had gotten this thing going that the Reed City players and the Everett players would get together over Christmas break and do some kind of large-scale gaming. And then they brought Axis and Allies on. We could try that. And, I was up for anything. And And unfortunately, for everyone else, I was Germany and Paul was Japan. And the guy playing Russia was very easy to manipulate. It was maybe 2 or 3 turns into the game, and I had signed a non-aggression treaty with him, which the way those work is I say I won't attack you, you say you won't attack me, and then we don't got to worry about maintaining a front line there to protect ourselves. And he's thinking, because in this game it's like 43, I think.
Yeah.
It's at the point in the war where Russia looks like it's about to fall over dead, and Germany has the most troops by far of anybody. It already has most of Europe when the game starts. And so when we did this, when we made this non-aggression treaty, the young guy, he was significantly younger than both of us.
I think he was my age.
Was
If it
he?
is who I think it is, yeah.
Well, he wasn't anywhere near as good a war gamer as you were. He thought, well, this keeps me from getting slaughtered by Germans coming across the border. So he signed pretty quick and thought it was a coup. And meanwhile, Paul and I had, during a break, discussed a long-term plan for ruling the earth. And it started with making neither of us have to worry about Russia.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, and so we could put all of our resources. We basically said we get him to sign non-aggression treaty. That takes him off the board for us, at least until he gets wise. And then I'll finish off Great Britain. You finish off the United States, and then between the two of us, we'll own the whole globe. And that's what we did. By the time he realized that he had made a huge mistake, Russia had fallen. I had Russia's card, and the only game I think I've seen the United States go down was that one when Paul was able to move his front naval line basically from Hawaii to the west coast of America.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and the big thing I did there, I think, was I took a gamble. So instead of just attacking Pearl Harbor, I landed troops.
so you could hold it.
So I held it.
Yeah. We played very smart, and we were the two best players at the table on one side together, you know. We could talk shorthand to each other real easy. Here's a good story about Paul.